Yeah, just one second.
Who is going to be judging?
Yeah, Tamaki.
Tamaki? Okay, that's fine. Let's put him up here then. Okay, he's up here.
Hold on. Yeah, let me just ping in the server real quick. One sec. The fuck? How did my message get deleted?
Probably some random bot bullshit. Like, bots just be doing dumb stuff. Golden Experience Requiem, yes. Truth is this Golden Experience Requiem. Oh, there's a.
All right, yeah, I'll just. All right, I cannot post links for some reason. What the fuck? All right, whatever. Yeah, I'll just start. Are you aware that like Jotaro is just like narratively implied to just be on a different level from like GR?
No, I am not aware. Lee shows some evidence.
Yeah, that's fine. So, god damn, I forgot to have an on-screen keyboard, bro. Hold on. Yo, give me like time to like type this shit out, bro. Hold on.
Got it. No problem.
Fuck. I think Versus Wiki got like the scans I need, but like, hold on. Fuck.
What scan are you looking for?
I'm just looking for one sec.
Is it like the part 6 stand stat thing?
No, not right now. Yeah.
Right, now I don't know what you're going to be arguing then. I'm going to be real.
Yeah. So, are you aware that like part 4 was like 10 or 20 years like after part 3?
Yeah.
Right. Are you also aware that Polnareff fought Diavolo 3 years after part 3?
3 years after part 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So in part 4, a like weaker Jotaro is stated to be the strongest, fastest, and most precise stand.
Okay.
Right. So and this is a weaker Jotaro as well. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
And yeah. Hold on. God, it's gonna take so fucking long. I just know. Hold on.
That's all right. I'm probably gonna be looking for some scans as well, real quick, like some.
All right, here. Hold on. Print screen is a bitch. All right, copy. I'm just posting the scans.
Let me check.
Here. Yeah, so in part 4. Why is it not posting? Oh my god.
But you DM me if you want.
There you go. So in part 4, it stated that what's it called? Jotaro is the number 1 in accuracy, speed, and power. Has the at blah blah blah, time stop, blah blah blah. And then yeah, that's pretty much all I need right now. So he's just narratively implied throughout like every single part he's been relevant in, that he's like the strongest or the fastest stand user, right? We know that Diavolo is a thing in part 4 because it's 3 years exactly after part 3 when Polnareff fought him. Right? What I'm saying is a weaker, a slower Jotaro is like on a different level from Diavolo. You got a problem with that?
That just puts him above Diavolo. I don't really see why this would just put him above GER.
Well, Diavolo is just like narratively implied to be both like above GR in speed and stronger than GR.
What makes you think that?
Because it's stated that he's faster than GR, and every single time Diavolo hits somebody like within the crew, he like obliterates them or like bisects them in each punch.
Would you mind showing me this like for GR and stuff? And
What
would you mind showing me where it's stated he's fast? Like, would you mind showing me like where it's stated he's faster than GR?
Yeah, that's fine. Give me a sec.
And in a second, I would like you to repeat like the second point you made because I
just said it's just like narratively implied that like Diavolo is like the strongest in part 5, like out of the characters that we know, because every time he fights somebody, he like splits them in half with like every single punch. You know.
Why
Give me
would
a
this
sec.
really apply if GER just beat the hell out of Diavolo?
Because he was stunned by the fact that he got RTZ'd. RTZ is a completely different thing from like speed. Let me just bring up the like speed
Not
thing
what
real quick.
happened. Okay, I'll let you bring that up, then I'll bring up my scans.
Okay, that's fine. Give me a sec. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go to the manga now. Hold on. Here, look.
One quick second.
So in scans, can I post it? Hold on. Oh yeah, so in scans, it was just stated by like Epitaph that he's like faster. And in the Epitaph itself, we see like the consistency of like how Diavolo always like bisects niggas with his punches, and he did that to GR as well.
So, is it a little bit faster? Oh yeah, it's shown that this was false. Like the premonition by King Crimson was false.
So okay, well, I think you're confused. The fact, like this thing isn't false, right? What happened is that GR changed, like what's it called, the future about RTZ. He like states it himself. He denied the truth. Yeah, he denied
by
the truth.
RTZ? No, I don't think he denied it with RTZ.
Okay, I'll just give you the panel where he says it. I'll just give you the panel where he says it.
I'm showing like the opposite to that. I'm already like aware of what you mean by the
That's
panel,
fine.
but like if we look with this scan right here, right? This is after RTZ and everything. He's still looking into the future. If the future
Okay, but
changed,
listen.
he should be getting the updated future, but he doesn't. Still saying it's the same future, and GER just defies that. It's even shown like before he even got Requiem, he just
Okay, wait,
defies the future.
stop. Right.
Okay.
So what you're showing is a completely different event. What I'm telling you is, right, everything that he sees with this epitaph is like fated to happen, right? But GR clarifies that the reason that what's called it's not gonna happen is because he stopped that reality from happening. He has a way to what's it called deny the reality itself, right? Which is tied into his RTC, which makes sense because the actions, the course of actions, were being reverted back to the cause from the effect. Right? He like flat out states, "You will never arrive at the reality that will occur. No one who stand before me shall ever do so, no matter the abilities they wield." Blah blah blah. He's essentially saying like whatever you saw was gonna happen if it wasn't for the fact that I'm here right now.
All right, hold on, let me grab another scan real quick.
Kamiki, are you recording this? Listen, just to save you time and like essentially like everybody in here as well, right? You will not find a scan that contradicts what Epitaph itself is. It is objectively true, right? But what Giorno does with his ability is to change the fate, right? So what Diavolo saw was gonna happen, right? But Giorno has the ability to like revert or like manipulate fate in a way which allowed him to not hit him, right? I can show you 20 scans, right? Where it's just implied that like what's it called? Diavolo's fate, like manipulation itself, not fate, but like force cast, force C, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is objectively true. It's just stated to be so. In his stand card as well.
Alright, so I disagree with this, and the reason why is because of this scan right here. This is before he even gets Requiem, you know, before he can even change stuff like that. The premonition is still shown to be wrong. It's shown he didn't pierce himself at
Let's
all.
see.
He dropped the arrow. He lost the arrow. But if we look at just like a few pages later, that's not what happened at all. I'll send you the chapter real quick. This is chapter 146. There we go. It's just shown that just the epitaph was just not true.
What chapter?
146. I sent the link.
Hold on.
This is like just a couple pages in. You could just check it out, you know? You know how it is. You know how it is. All right.
What does this prove? I'm confused.
All right. So this is so you're saying like the reason that the premonition was wrong was because reset to zero changed it, right?
No. What I'm saying is that he has the RTZ, right? Which ultimately like changed. Wait, calm down. I said he has the RTC, which ultimately like what's called returned the effect back to the cause. But I'm telling you that he has a separate ability which allows him to manipulate the fate. What is seen by Epitaph is fated to happen, right? But what the GR is able to do is to deny the fate itself. He like flat out states it.
Yeah, so this would be something with GER, right?
Yes.
And this is before Giorno even got Requiem. The premonition is still shown to just be wrong. He never pierced himself and he dropped the arrow, but that isn't what happened like 2 pages later. He pierced himself with the arrow and he got Requiem. So like even before he got Requiem, you know, these premonitions were still wrong.
Sorry, repeat yourself again. Repeat yourself
You got no problem.
Yeah.
So this is before I sent the chapter, by the way. You could just check through the pages. This is before he got Requiem, right? So he wouldn't have the fate changing ability you're saying he has, and it's still showing the premonition is just wrong. In this premonition, he never pierced himself with the arrow. He just dropped it on the ground. But 2 pages later, that's not what happened. He just pierces himself with the arrow, lights flashing, and then he gets Requiem. So, like, even before he got Requiem with the supposed fate changing ability you're saying he has, it's still just shown premonitions are wrong.
You're being disingenuous because you didn't scroll down like 2 pages, fat ass, where he literally says that he saw it fall down.
He says he saw it fall. Let me see what you're talking about. Let me check your page.
Just fucking posted
Chapter 146. This is 146, right?
Literally 2 pages down. What a good thing I didn't run away. To be honest, my heart was shredded in despair. If my daughter hadn't insulted me, I wouldn't have had the will to press on. Thanks to her, I saw the forecast of the art falling down to the ground.
Yeah, but it's also shown in the forecast he just didn't pierce himself either.
When he sees the forecast, he sees one glimpse of the forecast. He doesn't see the entire course of events, right? He chooses the outcome that he likes is essentially the future that he picks, right? So the outcome of the arrow itself being on the ground is what he saw, which is what he pursued. What you're saying is not denying the fact that what he sees is fated to happen. The arrow is still on the ground. Can we move on?
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up another scan. Be right if you repeat that 1 second.
Repeat what?
What you just said. I didn't catch that. It was a plane flying over my house, making a lot of noise.
What I said was, wait, before I even continue, Tamaki, are you recording this?
Didn't he say he was in like general?
Yeah, anyways. So what I said is he sees the glimpse of an arrow, right? He sees the glimpse of the arrow on the ground, and that's what he's pursuing. His forecast allows him to like see one glimpse of like the outcome that he chooses, right? So he keeps taking like different steps to like change what's fated to happen until he sees a fate that he wants or like the outcome that he wants. So the fact that he saw like the arrow itself on the ground is what he pursued. He pursued that what's called epitaph, like truth, I guess you'd call it.
He didn't just see the arrow on the ground too. It's shown in the scan, like in the same area where he sees the arrow on the ground. He never pierced himself with Requiem, like in that same time frame.
Where?
It's in the scan. We look right here. He said, "I wouldn't have seen this forecast, right?" And he doesn't have the arrow pierced. When it's not
Yeah.
pierced,
So what
it's
he's saying
also on the
is,
ground.
by what's called, I wouldn't have seen this forecast, is referring to like the fact that when he moves, his forecast, it like what's it called, changes, right? So when he moves, wait 1 second. I'm back. Sorry. What's called, so like the forecasts that he sees, right? I'm just calling it epitaph. The epitaph that he sees from now on, it changes every single time that he takes a step. So what he's saying is, I wouldn't have seen this forecast is because of the course of events that he was like put on, right? Because his daughter like consulted him, the epitaph changed again, and it changes every single time he takes a step until he takes the precog like epitaph that he wants, and then he sticks with it.
Where is it
So
showing that it changes?
it shows it changes in like what's called the Metallica fight.
Would it be alright if you show me this? I don't recall it.
When do you recall shit, nigga?
I mean, last time I saw this part was like 3 years ago when it first came out.
Yeah. Anyways, look in general chat. I mean,
In
scans.
general? All right.
Right. So while he was fighting Epitaph, he kept moving around, and every time he kept moving around, he saw images of himself, either with his head blown or like scissors down his throat that was gonna open. So he kept moving and moving and moving until he got the what's it called, the future that he desired.
Would it be alright if you send me the chapter for this real quick?
I don't remember what chapter it is.
All right. Would it be alright if I take a second to look for it?
That's fine. You got 5 minutes, bro.
All right.
Yeah. So he's like another instance as well of like what I'm talking about. He saw that his leg was gonna get blown the fuck up, and then he just moved and like what's called changed the course of action, and now he sees different images.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me think.
And because he moved, it like changes what's called course of course of steps. Instead of his foot being blown up, he blew up what's his name? Metallica's foot. Right. So we can just move on. So,
All right, so I would agree that the first scan would make him faster than Giorno because he's able to pierce through Giorno, but I don't think it would necessarily make him stronger than Requiem.
Well, When Giorno punches him, he makes minor cuts. When Diavolo punches him, he throws his entire fist to his body. He kills him in one shot.
Let me pull up GER Mirage and him real quick.
That's fine. Like,
Yeah, no, like Giorno just hitting his face once, like blew his head off and like chipped his skull and stuff. I could send
no,
scans for
it
that if you
chipped like
want.
a little part of his head off, which is completely fine. Like you're talking about the like when he hit like the like epitaph little face off. That doesn't matter. Like he's completely unaffected by it. He just keeps moving. What I'm telling you is one single hit from Diavolo killed him. Like in his epitaph, one hit killed him. That's the difference between him and Giorno in strength. Diavolo kills him in one punch.
1 second, the scan is sending. If not, sorry, send. It wasn't
Yeah,
just
I see
epic.
it.
Oh,
I
1
see
second
it.
is a
Like his, I see it. Like a little chip of his head flies out, which is completely fine, right? That doesn't like change the fact that like when Diavolo hits him, he dies.
Let me get like a databook scan. I just said this means Diavolo has higher durability than Giorno.
He also has higher strength because he's able to kill him in one punch.
That's just with Giorno's durability, not necessarily with GER
AP
strength.
equals durability.
Not for the. Why would that be for like the stand and the user?
Because they're able to exert the same damage that they're able to take.
Why?
Because otherwise, Diavolo's arm would have blown up.
Alright, so let me think of how to.
Like, what the fuck?
Think of how to argue this. I need to grab like a picture for an analogy real quick. Give me 1 second.
Oh man. Hopefully my keyboard works tomorrow so I can debate that nigga bubbles.
Alright, I got it. Yeah. So I'm getting the scans real quick to explain why stands in their users wouldn't scale relative in durability. Give me 1 second.
You wanna hurry up?
Yeah, okay, I got one example so far. Just 1 second. Alright, so if stands and their users would scale relative or equal in terms of durability, it makes no sense why the stands users would have to take out the stand just to specifically block attacks. They would just be able to just tank the attack. The example is loading right now, but the main one is with Kira and the glass shards. Basically, Killer Queen, it's able to just simply tank it with just the hand. But whenever it's hit with Kira, it just completely pierces through him, which shows that they're tanking the same attack. But
You're
when
lagging.
Kira's,
I cannot hear
let
what
me
you
repeat
said.
it, right? It makes no sense for stands and their. I'm sorry. Am I still lagging? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
still lagging?
I can hear you, nigga. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the images have loaded now. That's good. Okay, so it's what mainly I'm bringing up a couple of examples. This is the first one I got on me, right? Basically, it makes no sense for stands and their users to scale equal in durability if the users would have to bring out their stance to actually block certain attacks, and it's shown when the users get hit by these same attacks, they get hurt, but when the stands do, they don't. An example of this, Killer Queen,
that just contradicts
Kira
that entire argument just gets contradicted from like the scan that I posted. Because both Diavolo, both Giorno and fucking like GR is like being hit. They're both bleeding from the hit. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's because what happens to the user also happens to the stand, or what happens to the
Right,
stand happens to the
right. So if
user.
they, so if
But
one
it
gets
doesn't.
hit, the other one gets hit as well, right? Also, the scan that you
Yeah, but
posted
I
in
wouldn't.
Kira, the scan that you posted on Kira is not just a normal shard, right? It's a shard being thrown on Kira when Kira's off guarded as well. That's not what you're taking into account. Because Kira's like Killer Queen is deflecting. I'm not done. Kira's Killer Queen is deflecting off like the fucking like glass shard, whatever the fuck that is being thrown at him, right? But then when he gets hit, he's hit off guarded. It comes from his back. He cannot guard up and defend it.
Right, but if it had the same durability, then it should just be piercing through his hand.
Are you dumb? Like he's ready for the glass shard to pull up, which is why he's deflecting it.
Him being ready for it doesn't change his durability.
Yes, it clearly does because he stands there, deflects the fucking glass shard, but then gets hit by it when he's not readied up, when he's not guarded up.
That would just
Are you good?
contradict it, man.
Yes, it would. That's what I'm getting. Oh my god, nigga. Yo, we can leave this point to the judge or just move on. Anyways, Jotaro on like a complete different level from Diavolo. Diavolo's above in like strength and speed. Like, what's called? Then there's just like a matter of the abilities themselves. Jotaro is just stated to have like the strongest ability in history. I'm gonna just bring that scan out. Fuck me, bro. Hold on. Yeah, so look in Jono chat. I mean, scan chat. Hold on. Damn, why the fuck is my thing bugging? Hold on.
All right. Really.
Yeah. So Star Prime has the strongest ability ever. It's consistent with the show because he's able to overpower other people as well with like his own stand ability. Like he's able to overpower like what's his name? Dio when he does get his time stop, and he's able to overpower Pucci with his time acceleration.
So Star Platinum. Okay, so that's talking about like the what should I call it? The time stop being just like a better hack.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really think that changes the matter of strength.
Well, I mean, the potency of the ability itself is able to like stop other people's time stop and acceleration. So, like, if everyone were to have like a level 1 and time like manipulation, Jotaro would essentially just have level 2. Is what I'm saying. Right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Then I mean, like, Jotaro would be able to like stop GR's like RTZ. Like, the RTZ just wouldn't work on like Jotaro's time stop.
Would you like me to explain why I think this statement is contradictory?
Why?
All right, so I'm gonna grab some databook and manga scans real quick.
Databook scans doesn't really like, that's just supplementary information that gets contradicted by the show.
Databook scans would just be an author's statement, which would be like this.
The author has no, like, the author's words just gets contradicted in the show, as I told you. Like, it states that, what's it called? It states that like, what's his name, GR has like the strongest like ability like ever, like in the Jojo Gogo and like the Jojo Veller. But on part 6, which came out after the Jojo Gogo page, states that Jotaro has the strongest stand ability ever.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up something for that in a second. But hold on.
This
So I'm
nigga.
gonna bring up the first scan for reset to 0 being above. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure you already sent the scan. Yeah, I'm gonna just tag it real quick. Let me scroll up. There we go. The first one. All right. So the reason as to why I think reset to 0 would be above the time stop is because reset to 0 has to do with causality and is shown to work without time. And causality
No,
would
it
be the
works.
baseless.
It works with time. Causality is essentially like it's causal changes, right? And the reason why it does have to do something with time is because we see clearly that in Diavolo's quote unquote like time erasure, which is essentially just him inside of like epitaph, that normal bullets are moving, and so is Mista firing the gun. The gun and the bullets themselves are man-made. They're not a part of his stand, and they have a velocity rate.
Oh no, it's stated to be a part of his stand. They're stated to just be forecasts.
No,
I'm sending this real quick.
pistols is different from his gun.
Oh yeah, then those like 6 pistols in the epitaph as well would just be a premonition. Let me look what it says right here. Then this period sees the actions of others as forecast-esque images.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say? They would be
Yeah.
what?
It just means that the 6 pistols in the time erase would just be forecasts as well.
Are you good?
Yeah.
That is what he's erasing. He's denying the truth of the forecast.
Yeah, these
While he's
forecasts
deleting-
aren't. Yeah, these forecasts aren't the
listen.
real thing. They're just okay.
Listen, while he's deleting time, right? What's called? He is skipping towards the end. Before he skips towards the end, is that he chooses the what's called the epithet that he wants, right? The future that he wants. So while he's choosing it, bullets are still flying, right? What I'm telling you is because the bullets themselves are flying, time is present because they have a velocity rate and then normal bullets.
Oh, so you're saying that because these bullets are moving, then they have time?
Yes.
Okay, so let me grab Diavolo's statement where he says time is erased for all but me real quick.
He said time should be erased for everybody but me. That gets contradicted by the fact that fucking bullets are moving, nigga. Keep up.
And they would just be the forecasts of the bullets, and the forecasts are just visions, which would just be an extension of him and his stand. So,
Oh my god, bro.
and it's shown that these forecasts aren't the real physical thing, right? Because
they are
when
the real
Aerosmith
physical
shot a
things
bunch,
because he's
let
dodging them.
me talk. Let's chill. Let me talk. When did he dodge them? Wait, is this in the scan? Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh no, this wouldn't necessarily be. Wait, I could just
What,
say that
this
this would
wasn't
just be him Okay, hold on. I could just argue that this would just be him repositioning himself so he has a better viewpoint. Because if he has like these bullet forecasts just going through him, then he wouldn't have good
They're not
view, and the
going
entire
through
point of him erasing. It's
He's dodging
shown that
them.
like when Aerosmith, it's shown that when Aerosmith, I'm saying that if they didn't, they would go through him.
With
And the
Aerosmith,
reason
he
why
just
I think,
misplaced
hold on.
himself. He's not going through them.
No, it's shown the Aerosmith bullets look clearly face through him. I can send you the scan if you want.
So you listen.
What?
What I'm telling you is right. The bullets are being thrown. Right, the bullets are still moving in the space that is stated to be erased. Right, which means that no object should be able to move. Logically, no object should be able to move. Right, because if time is erased, right, this stuff like the stuff that are being fired that has a velocity rate should just freeze midair. They're not freezing midair, and he's dodging them.
That's what I'm saying though, is that these aren't the actual bullets. They're just forecasts. And he's not
You're
moving
fucking
them.
retard.
Rather,
Anyways,
he's just
I feel like I've
Let me
already proved
continue,
myself.
bro.
Wait, okay, that's fine. You've already
I'm
like
still
you've already
trying to
repeated
prove
yourself.
myself. So
Okay, but you
No, I
repeated
still have
yourself
some
4
other stuff
times.
I
It's
was
just
going
not
to
noise.
add
Okay,
on.
that's fine. Okay, but add.
It's
add the
because
new
I was
stuff.
still
Go ahead.
going to add on, and you just
Okay,
cut me off
add the
like
new
that.
stuff. Shut up. Add the new shit. Go ahead.
Okay, the new thing was for me to actually send a scan because you said he just like moved himself out the way of the Aerosmith
Yeah.
bullets or something. If I'm not wrong,
No, I'm not talking
But
about
that's
the
not what
Aerosmith
happened.
bullets. I'm talking about Mista's bullets.
I was talking about the Aerosmith bullets to show that these things aren't the tangible, real thing.
I don't give a fuck about
And I'll
them.
grab the scan for the Aerosmith bullets.
I don't
What?
listen.
Why?
I don't care. I don't care about Aerosmith's bullets. Right. What I care about is Mista's bullets. Mista's bullets have a velocity rate. We can move on.
And so should the Aerosmith bullets if they were a real physical thing.
I don't give a fuck about Aerosmith's bullets right now. Are you dumb? I'm telling you.
It just explains what is the forecast. We could just say that this applies for Mista as well.
Okay,
Why
what,
would
are you
Mista
saying?
be
Are you
any
saying that
different
this
from
is
the
a
Aerosmith
forecast?
bullet?
What are you saying that this is a forecast that he's not actually time erasing? When he states that he's erasing time, he's not time erasing.
No, he'd just be erasing time and forecasting. It's just that, like, it literally states in the scan that when he erases time.
Listen. If they're both being activated, right? The progress is being made of both of them, like both erasing, and he's able to predict, right? Why are the bullets still moving?
Because they're just forecasts. It shows what would have happened if he didn't erase time.
We're done.
I mean, it's like literally stated it was a forecast.
That's fine. We can leave this point to the judge, right? You're a retard. Back to what I was saying, though, right?
I'm sure we erased everyone but myself. I already went against this point. Okay.
That's fine.
I'd like to state one more thing, if that's all right with you.
What? Nigga?
Okay. All right. The one more thing I'd like to state is for the scan you just presented.
I don't care about that scan. I didn't need to post it.
Okay.
Right. Anyways, back to what I was saying, right? The win con would essentially just be Jotaro's on a different level. He's massively stronger, massively faster. That's out of the question, right? But he also has time stop, but it's time on a higher level, right? Although, like, GR has, like, what's it called? Causality manipulation, which I'm not denying, right? Jotaro still has time stop on just a higher level. He'd be able to, like, affect time on, like, higher levels than standard. That's what I'm saying. So he wouldn't be able to articulate, like I said earlier. But yeah, I'm done. Like, you can go ahead with your win con. My win con would just be that he just punches or kicks him. Like, it don't matter. All right, go ahead.
I mean, I haven't, like, given the scans for my win con yet. We were just arguing over yours.
Okay, well, I'm just done. Yeah, we're gonna start the recording.
All right.